Hey guys, so weird. Today we're going to talk about the concept of aging out and the trauma that it causes us. Traumas that scar us for life in terms of our self-esteem and fulfillment as musicians. Issues that have really followed me through most of my adulthood life because of aging out. But I'm honestly just really tired of it at this point. So I'm going to talk it out with you guys. Let me preface this by saying that this is simply my opinion and my experience with aging out. You are free to disagree, as everyone's experience is different with this internal battle we face. And if you think differently, let me know. Alright, now that all the disclaimers are out of the way, let's get personal. I'd like to start with the idea of progress and how it is handed to us in the drum corps and indoor communities. From the start, we are fed this idea that progress is gauged by where and even when you've marched. It is a crippling ideology to live with, yet we willingly do it to our community, pushing the narrative that we have to march somewhere good or world class. If we allow ourselves to do basic math, we would realize that this whole idea is extremely flawed. There are only so many spots in any given section, and the chance of getting a contract are slim by that fact alone. Then we factor in talent, learning ability, privilege, and every second left until we turn 22. Try explaining that to any reasonable person, and they will all tell you that it is unreasonable to be mad about such a circumstance. Almost everything is doable past the age of 22 or 23. Even drum corps if you march DCA. Stanley wrote his first comic at 39. Vera Wang started designing at 40. And my boy Samuel L. Jackson didn't even land a major movie until he was 42. 42. Twice the age of our standard. Don't get me wrong, I understand that in the moment, it feels like the most unfair thing in the world, especially when you're last cut or you just get injured. But believe it or not, it is not the end of the world. Marching in general is about 90% how you experience it, as is with many things. I've seen countless drum corps outside of top 12 perform jaw-dropping productions. My favorite percussion section from last year was Legends. If you go look up any video of their battery, cleaner than I can interpret. Cleaner than Mr. Clean's head. Or the year that BDB almost made world-class finals. I don't think any of those students regretted their experience or their season because they weren't top 12. Think about how many jobs would be vacant if we required people to have an Ivy League degree as opposed to being just passionate about what they do. Spoiler alert, all of them. Imagine telling a high school athlete that their commitment after 4 years of hard work is irrelevant if they don't play for a Div 1 team. Incomprehensible, right? Or maybe telling a child that if they don't graduate college at 22, they will be unsuccessful. I'm not sure about you guys, but as time progresses, it feels more and more impossible to graduate in 4 years. And we accept that, so why can't we accept this? If the rest of the world and anything else can just progress, why can't we? Why do we cut ourselves off at 22 or 23? I personally didn't start feeling good about my hands until I think quite literally finals week of my age out year in Dayton. And even then, I'm still kind of iffy. Regardless of where you marched and how you feel about that organization, you have made progress. You did the thing. I love all the comments on YouTube of people criticizing other percussion sections or, drum corps in general, and it's almost always people that have never marched. There is a very clear reason why you're on a field and they're commenting on YouTube. This activity that we love is quite indescribable. Try telling anyone that you go away for a summer, get sunburned every day, and get yelled at a lot, and then tell them that you pay for that. But then on the flip side, you can tell them that it is probably the most rewarding experience of your life. It seems literally insane at face value. I marched DCI for 1 year and DCA for 7, and I think almost every day about how thankful I am that I did decide to march every season that I could. I knew that once I started teaching or that my real life began, that I would not have the opportunity to do these things that I really love to do, like performing and playing a clean triplet roll. Sometimes life gets pretty unavoidable after you get out of college or just turn 22 or 23 for some strange reason. It's like everything goes survival mode, abandon the approach. So it becomes a lot harder to march when real life gets real. I am so genuinely happy that I marched all the seasons that I could have, regardless of placement, because I now have these memories that I could literally never replicate, never do again with the same people, never chug Mountain Dew during a water break, never be first running back, never being in the middle of nowhere and thinking, man, I wish I was with my Xbox, but then thinking, nah, this is much better. At the end of my marching youth, I realized that placement is truly irrelevant and that I'd rather have a great time with an organization that I love, drumming every day. I invite you to look at aging out in a different light. Glass half full, if you will. See it as an opportunity to appreciate what you had when you had it, and how now you can appreciate others experiencing it because you knew in the moment that this was something special. How nothing in life could compare to the amazing summers and the amazing people you spent them with, regardless of your placing. There are hundreds of other ways to be involved in the activity if you still have that drive. There are many, many opportunities that strictly present themselves only when you age out. Most notably teaching, but there's also volunteering, being on the administrative board of drum corps, photographers, content creators, judging, even being the director at a drum corps. You just have to see past the existential dread of turning 23. Aging out really gave me perspective on what I really wanted from the activity and why I loved it, really. Mainly because I was no longer able to do it. I was no longer able... I had to find reasons other than performing, and I surely did. And if I can do it, anyone can. Remember that, as a general rule, without loss, there is no love for anything. Without yin, there is no yang. Or yang, there is no yin. Without space in the notes mean nothing. So please, stop hurting yourself. Stop letting the activity you love hurt you. And just learn to appreciate it for what it can be after you've aged out. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys like this format where I'm outside. I kind of like it because it's nice and breezy, but also there's a bunch of people staring. This gazebo is really cute though. Sorry about the 2-week hiatus because I just didn't want to get out of bed. Please like, maybe even subscribe. Share the video if you really like it. I really like it. And lastly, I would love to hear about your age out experience and how it has shaped your perspective post 23. That's it though, guys. Thanks for tuning in again and not giving up on me. See you next week.